Welcome to another episode of Breaking Bank. This is your host, John McCaig. Please check us out on libertyaid.org, and if you have any questions, write them to contact@libertyaid.org. We will answer your questions within 24 hours, and sometimes we will do a video on it, and that might take a little longer, but you'll have a reference to it like this. This is a good series of questions from Shane Boodoo. Been an excellent client, really meticulous in his looking at every single word and every single piece of everything. So, hey, that helps my work. I don't, it's great to have a careful editor look at my work and to form excellent questions. So thank you for that, and I will try and answer yours now. How can you get a post office certified mail number in advance of mailing in the debt relief letters to the banks? You go to the post office and you get them. This is what they look like. This is part, and this is part, right? And I have a pile of them. They're free. They're a post office. You just go up and get them. So that's how. Is it required or at least suggested to form the trust before sending the debt relief letters? Are there potential issues if the trust is not formed prior to sending letters? Good question. Look at Breaking Bank number 96. Just did one before this one, answering that question. Good question. Some questions we get, often. This one. So I made its own little video. So check it out. Let's see, next question. When dealing with large banks or institutions with multiple offices, do we send the debt relief letters to corporate, CFO, office at the corporate headquarters, or the same address where payments are sent? One of my payments is to a P.O. box, so I assume those won't work, as is the post office. Actually, all three would work. Post office is fine. It's just, but they accept certified mail in at post office. Post offices, you have a box, right? A PO box is just a box at the post office itself. And so what you do when you go to a post office and you have a box at a post office, you get a note, and it said, "Oh, come get this certified letter up front." And so you go up front and you get the certified letter. So that's what they would do at the P.O. box. So yeah, they'll get it there. They will get it at a branch office. They will get it at the headquarters. And I wouldn't send it to the CFO. Usually I send it to the CFO. You have to look on each state service of process. Go look it up. Each state is different. You can look it up in your county. Clerk of court will know the answer to this. It's called service of process. How do I get the other side the information properly, right? That's important. So don't have, if you're going to court and you're sending court papers, it'll tell you how to do that, right? You just have to get them this information, basically, these letters. But you can look at the requirements for like sending a small claims case and see how it is in your county. That's different for that, but the letters just need to get there and they get signed for. That's all. It doesn't matter what address they go to, as long as they sign for it, you get what's called return receipt. This is the return receipt. You get this green thing in the mail, right? Hey, someone signed for it, and we got it back. And if you didn't get it back, you can check online at the post office, and you just simply type in the number from the certified mail into its tracking, and it'll track and show if it got it. And in fact, you can, if you didn't even get this, you can then print it out if they did sign for it. You don't have to get that. You're supposed to, but if you don't, they will have signed for it. If they sign for it, you can see the signature online, and you can print it out from there. And a post office will print out that information for you for free if you go to the post office, okay? So I think that got that question. I see reference to the In God We Trust. What is the In God We Trust? That's good question, but it's answered in a lot of other videos. It's the satanic contract it's the contract with Satan to stay in hell. It's also known as the United States, USA Inc. Anyway, you can go look it up. The USA is a hoax. It's simply a business, a corporation formed in Philly. I found it. It's a trust. And go look into that. Okay. I have videos on that. It's called In God We Trust. They're two together. And look at them. And the series one shows, looking up the In God We Trust on Dun & Bradstreet and so on. The other one shows you how this trust that you can get from Liberty is the only other trust you can get with the same status that you won't have to pay taxes and so on. Okay. Good question, but I've answered that. I am learning that trusts have various names. Is there a difference between a contractual business trust, pure trust, common law, irrevocable ecclesiastical trust? Yeah, those other trusts are just not this type of trust. They're not that kind. I don't need to know what someone else names a type of a trust that's not this trust. I just don't need to know. There's so much bullshit trust jargon out there that is completely meaningless, not worthy of a discussion, really. Because you can register a common law trust at Secretary of State in the 50 states, United States, and operate it and get credit. This is a particular type of common law trust where you sign your soul with Jesus Christ instead of Satan. So it's the only one on earth you can do that with. Okay, so I hope that answers that question. Is there a benefit to having the debt removed from the credit report versus having the bank update the time? Update the credit report to reflect the paid in full on time, thus promoting creditworthiness. Yeah, you're not going to be able to make them do that. You can try to do that, and then it will fail, and then you'll be like, okay, just remove it. You see, but you should do that and learn. That's how I learned. I learned that I couldn't make them do that, and so I went for the next best possible thing. But yes, logically, what you say is correct. But I've done that work, and they don't cave in on that. So, remember, no banks do anything legal. The law is not followed in any courtroom by any police, by any government, by any bank. They don't follow the law, not ever. So remember, that's not who you're dealing with. So we just do what we can do. All right. Would having it show paid in full and on time help with future credit rating? Yes, but they won't do it. Okay. Same question twice. Got it. I will likely have more to come. Good. Thank you, Shane. Your questions are excellent. I am thinking on the trust and working on a name to be the umbrella of multiple trusts for different purposes. Am I overthinking that? Yes. You should give each trust its own name, and they don't have to be related that way. The person, if you're not using the person and it's just sitting on the sidelines, then the person is a good thing to just license trust, not trust licensing trust necessarily. I've heard of that web work, but if the person is just defunct and just licenses things, who cares? There can be rare reasons to have a trust on a trust, but I have to hear a good one. Because there's a separation you want between the trust, not a touch point. You want to remove them. You want to separate the risk of different trusts, and if they're overlapping, one owns the other. That's not separating it. That's joining the risk. So the opposite is what we're going for. Okay, that's good questions. Thanks for that good list. And can write to us. Remember, contact@liberty.org. God bless your success.